watching the JV game that has gone to 0.1 second. Hobbs has fouled, and there is a two-shot chance to get the game and victory for the Clovis Wildcats, the JV, as it is 47-46. And this one ties the game, so at the very least it could go into overtime unless he makes the second one, then it is over. And the Hobbs Eagle JV game is in another loss for them. As we are watching, this is of course on all your favorite channels, and that is it, and the game is over. 48-47, Clovis does win by 1 point after Hobbs had 2 shots on the free throw line, missed them both. And because of the foul, Clovis is victorious. Once again, 48-47 for them. So congratulations to the Clovis Wildcat, the JV game, or team. It was 16-6 in the first. It was halftime. It was 26-21. Hobbs led by 5. Third quarter saw each team. Hobbs scored 8, and Clovis scored 7. Made it 34-28. But Clovis just a little too much for them, as the final score once again 48-47. We're going to be doing of course, a pregame show here in just a moment. Going to get our stats and stuff ready for you. Looks like we've got about 20 minutes on the warm-up. So, of course, we're going to keep the video stream running for you to watch. And we'll also be on Cool 95.7 KLEA in mere moments, along with, the Cool Facebook page. And, of course, you can't forget HobbsAmerica.com. Come back here in just a moment or two. We're going to have Ty Friend, of course, along with me, Ron Gunter, and Max at the station helping us out. Till then. Oh, and by the way, we cannot forget our wonderful sponsors. So let's do that right now. Starting with Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. Thanks again for the sponsorship. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to get this nice material on the air. See you in a few.
Welcome live to Task Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, Max back at the station tonight as the Hobbs Eagles another district battle, this time taking on the Clovis Wildcats, a team the Eagles beat a couple of weeks ago, 74-58 on the road by 16. And, of course, Ron, this past Tuesday night, Eagles picking up a much-needed victory over Roswell High and getting an 11-point win in that one, 75-64, putting the Eagles second in the district. Of course, Carlsbad leads with a 3-0 record. Hobbs now at 2-1, one game separating them and Roswell at 1-2. And the Wildcats tonight, they're taking on 0-3. Eagles at 12-10 overall, and Clovis at 10-12 and on a 4-game losing streak. So, important game. Of course, the Eagles currently sitting in the 13th spot in the Max Preps poll. Definitely going to get them a slot probably in the state tournament, but they're trying to move their places up a little bit. And, of course, all wins the rest of the district schedule really help their cause.
Exactly, and they definitely need all the wins, especially the main one, the last one, which will be Carlsbad. That should be tough. I mean, we thought that we could maybe be able to handle them here at Tasker. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But, Hobbs has been better on the road than they have been at home. So maybe that'll be the advantage to them that they can take care of, and they can go ahead and get that 5-1 district. They can tie up with Carlsbad and go from there.
This is senior night. They're putting the seniors on the court right now. Michael Mackey, of course, has been averaging over 22 points a game this year. Definitely a very stellar player in the state of New Mexico, one of the best, and continues to dump in the points one after the other. 30 against Roswell this past Tuesday. A couple other seniors being recognized for this season at least. Of course, Ethan Van Landingham went down injured. He has been playing for the last couple of weeks, but boy, that kid was a strong kid, almost like a robot out there. Kept going and going and going, Energizer Rabbit status. Jordan Chisholm, one of their big post players, 6'1", 165. Of course, he's kind of a big man underneath, get the ball down to him. He likes to set up some screens for the Eagles. He'll be the second senior. And last but not least, Chris Archibald. He's another senior on the squad, another post player for the Eagles, throwing his big body around and been a starter quite a few games this season. So Mackey, Chisholm, and Archibald, and of course Van Landingham, who had to leave due to injury. Those four guys, in terms of the seniors this year, definitely a very good crew for the Eagles squad. Now against Roswell on Tuesday, Michael Mackey, as we mentioned, 30 points. He had 8 rebounds in that ball game. Also dumped in a couple of 3-point shots. He continues this to rip the point production for the team, averaging over 22 a game. But there's been several that he's had 30 in the last couple of weeks. So he's definitely going to put the team on his back offensively. But he got some big help. Braylon Vega stepped up, the freshman, 20 points in the game and had a total of 5 trays. I didn't have big points in the previous game against Carlsbad, but he came out on the road and really ripped it hard outside. And
he's one of those presences that you don't even notice around because he's so fast, he's so quick and precise that you never notice until he's starting to score. And of course, all you can say is Vega, Vega, Vega. And between Mackey and Vega, they have a really good thing going. They need 1 more or 2 more people to step up, be able to get a balanced offense as well as a balanced defense, and they can really definitely take care of some games without any nail biting at the end.
So he's moved up to 33 three-pointers on the season, has Vega. He's a couple of 3 behind Pena, who leads the team in trays at this point. So Mackey and Vega combining for 50 of the Hobbs Eagles' 75 points. Abraham Pena getting close to double digits. He had 8 points, tons of free throw opportunities in that game. He was a 6 of 8 from the charity line and 6 points. He has been averaging his double point production that we've seen previous to the last couple of games, but you can expect him to have a breakout night here pretty quickly. He finished with 8 in that contest. Peyton Hodge coming off the bench for 5 points and 7 rebounds. Again, Hodge, kind of a slasher type. He wants to go to the rack quite a bit, but he's also going to get some boards for you. I definitely like to see him continue to light it up. Eagles pretty decent on the line in that game against Roswell, 19 of 27 for 70%. They got a total of 32 rebounds, 2 better than Roswell, and had 7 less turnovers than the Coyotes at 16 versus 23. So that definitely is a good omen for the Eagles with the continuation of about a week left of district basketball. And doubled up on 3-pointers versus the Coyotes, 8-4. And something that was kind of impressive, too, they held Ivan Miramontes to 19 points. That sounds pretty good numbers, but he was pretty silent. Only had 10 points in the first half and had a 9 in the second, but the Eagles kept him under tow, although Manny Fuentes stepped up for 22, but still their big guy, Miramontes, really wasn't a factor in terms of just dominating in there.
And as you remember, Miramontes did nothing in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was out there. I noticed. I watched the game. I wanted to see if he was out there. He was, but he was 0. I don't even think he took a shot. He was that covered up in the fourth quarter. So that's what we want to see. The main guy, get covered, get distracted, get out of sync, and definitely not be shooting.
Hobbs, again, getting 23 turnovers out of Roswell in that game. And we saw a great quick start to this contest, too, Ron. Team was out of the chutes quick, getting the ball up the court on the transition, playing some tough defense, and not looking back. I mean, they were full speed ahead. Game got a little bit close there in the fourth quarter at one point, but Hobbs pulled it out, some free throws late, and taking care of the basketball. But, again, really aggressive start to that ball game. And I think that kind of set the momentum for the contest.
Definitely. And something that I forgot to mention just the other day at Roswell was the fact that Roswell was undefeated at home, and that was their very first loss. And even though they weren't playing great this season, they had that to go with. And until Hobbs came in and blew them out, or at least won the game, they had the 9-0 record, and now they have a 9-1 record at home. Still not bad, though. I would take it.
Of course, the Eagles playing Clovis tonight. Michael Mackey, the last time they played, 30 points for him, just like he got against Roswell on Tuesday night. He tends to get the big points against the district opponents. Also added 8 rebounds. He's been leading the team in rebounds throughout the season as well, which is a good dominating factor for his efforts so far. Hobbs had 3 in double digits in that game. Abraham Pena with 19, again on the road. He hit 1 tray in the contest and had 4 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the line. And last but not least, Braylon Vega came up to Clovis and hit 3 trays and 13 points. So those 3 guys, 62 of the total production of 74 for the Eagles offensively. Hobbs did not shoot very well in the free throw line in Clovis, 11 of 24 for 45%. And there was kind of a turnover fest between the two teams. There was 45 turnovers in the game, 23 for Hobbs and 22 for the Wildcats, although the Eagles did get 37 rebounds and only 19 for Clovis. They were really crashing the boards hard in that game, and it's pretty tough to come away with a double-digit win on the road in Clovis. They did it by 16.
Yeah, it is hard, but you're also talking about the fact that, there was a lot of turnovers, but that's what happens when you have fast action. Sometimes you try to stop and the ball just continues to move on. You miss it, lose the handle of the ball, and it's another turnover or just a bad pass. Something always happens that you get a bad. As long as the thing is though, if you have turnovers, just try to get it back as quickly as possible before they get to the other side of the court trying to score. If you can do that, then it just negates that turnover, and you don't have to worry about it as much as you would if the team went to the front court and tried to score.
Marvin Cox, a double-double for the Wildcats, 27 points, 11 rebounds. So he's really the guy Hobbs has to look out for. He had 3 trays in the contest, pretty spread out throughout the ball game. Nobody else in double digits. A couple of 7s, Kalen Parker and R.J. Nora. But other than that, not a lot of help from the bench for Clovis in that game. They shot 66% from the free throw line. Had 1 less turnover than Hobbs with 22. 4 3-pointers for the Wildcats compared to 5. And again, I think the big statistic that really points when Hobbs is doing well is the rebounds, 37 to 19. And that's hopefully going to be something they can do here at Tasker Arena. So once again, Hobbs coming in with the 2nd place in district at this point, sitting right now at 2-1, and Clovis at 0-3. If you look at the Max Preps poll currently in the state of New Mexico, Hobbs still at number 13 like they were on Tuesday. They have one of the best strength of schedules of the whole 5A throughout New Mexico. In fact, only 3 other teams have better than them. That's 1, 2, and 3. Volcano Vista, Sandia, and Atrisco Heritage. And then places 4 through 12. Hobbs has a better strength of schedule than all those teams, so that's really going to help out their cause for seeding at the tournament. We'll take a quick break, 90 seconds. We're back after the national anthem. Hobbs Eagle fight song here at Tasker Arena. Hobbs versus Clovis here in the district battle. Eagles with a couple more games next week. Roswell on Tuesday here at Tasker, and the final game next Friday in Carlsbad. And that will get you ready for the district tournament the following week. So things are starting to wrap up here. Every game is critical for seeding in the rest of the season. And the Hobbs Eagles, again, 13th in the Max Preps Bowl. And one thing I was mentioning right before the break is the strength of schedule. That will really work to Hobbs' advantage when you compare teams. In fact, the team that's right ahead of them right now at number 12 in the Max Preps Bowl is Santa Fe. Hobbs has already beat Santa Fe this season, so head-to-head, but also about 4 points better in strength of schedule. So you would expect Hobbs, if they kept the numbers the way they are right now, to at least move ahead of Santa Fe into the number 12 spot. After that, it's going to be kind of iffy, although they have played Rio Rancho and split with them this season. They are at number 8 on the Max Preps poll, so that team is kind of a question mark. But a couple other teams ahead of Hobbs at 9, 10, and 11. Carlsbad, La Cueva, and El Dorado don't have a history except Carlsbad. And if Carlsbad is matched up against us for a seeding, they're going to win that toss if they can get another win next week. So, again, big question mark is, can the Hobbs squad get up into that number 8 spot or higher? That's going to be kind of tough. But winning out the rest of the district would really help their cause on top of maybe a tournament championship for the district as well.
Yeah, it'd be great if they could win the tournament district. But as far as seeding, to me, I believe they can't get any higher than 10, even if they win it all and get the district championship. However, sometimes we never know exactly how they're going to score the teams. They never know exactly how they're going to rank them. In the end, it's all about the numbers and how they fall into place. And of course, we never have any say about that. It's just about the coaches' poll, the Max Preps, and everything else that they take into account and see where they're going to land as far as the playoff schedule.
Let's look at the starting lineups. First for Clovis, Brian Weiss, a senior guard at 6 foot. He scored 3 against the Eagles in the last game they played against each other. Champ Gooden was pretty quiet in their last game. He had 4 points. He's another starter with 2 for 2 on the line. Marvin Cox, we mentioned, with a double-double, 27 points and 11 rebounds in the last game. R.J. Norris scored 7, and J.J. Jones finished with 5. So those are your 5 starters. The Clovis Wildcats wearing black uniforms and somewhat of a purple letters and numbers on the jerseys, along with also the white trim on those numbers. And for your Hobbs Eagles, starting tonight, of course, Michael Mackey, who scored 30 points against Clovis in their first contest, had 8 rebounds in that game. Braylon Vega with 13 and 3 boards against Clovis and the 3 trays. Abraham Pena, who scored 19 points, 4 boards, and 4 for 8 free throw shooting. Jordan Chisholm with 4 points and 8 rebounds in that previous game against Clovis. And Chris Archibald, another senior for Hobbs, he did not score in that game on the road in Clovis. So Mackey, Vega, Pena, Chisholm, and Archibald, all 3 seniors starting on the court for the Eagles, wearing the white uniforms, black numbers, gold, and white trim in this big district matchup.
Just to give you a point on how this thing works, Hobbs has outwon Clovis right here at Tasker Arena 36-8, and that's between 1989 to now.
Eagles shooting 62% from the free throw line this season, 46% from the field, 35% from three-point range. They average 17 turnovers a contest and have had 7.5 steals a game. Of course, Michael Mackey leads at 22.4 a contest, 13.6 for Pena. And Mackey also leading in rebounds, assists, and steals. So nice offense and defensive look for Michael Mackey. Clovis waiting for the Eagles to step on the court. As we get everybody set for the positions, Michael, looks like Mackey will be the guy to jump for Hobbs, going left to right on the radio dial. And the jumper for Clovis will be Marvin Cox, 6'5" kid out there, the biggest on the court for either team at this point. Of course, Eagles do have on the bench Parker Henderson, who played JV tonight. He's got some size as well for the Eagles. A tip in the backcourt for Clovis is going to go out of bounds on the near side. And they're going to say it went off of Clovis, so will be Hobbs basketball in their front court near side. And inbounding will be Braylon Vega for the first possession of this ball game. Live from Tasker Arena, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube. Also on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page and Cool 95.7 radio station. Backdoor cut, pass down to Mackey on the bouncer, lays it up from the right side. Eagles fans get to take a seat after the first score of the ball game, 2-0 early. Trap, 2-1-2 pressure, full court, thrown across the timeline to Cox. Pivots and returns over the right, front court to Bryce. Weiss dribbles left, handed off to Cox. Top of the circle, comes right with it. Wrap around to Nora on the right wing. Puts it up top to Jones. To the right corner, holding it for a second is Weiss. Returns it back up top to circle. Sends it left wing to Cox. Behind him on the left side to Jones. Down the lane, pushes it down to Gooden, reverse layup right side with 2 hands off the back of the rim, no good. Chris Archibald with the rebound for the Eagles. Outlet to the timeline, Mackey to bring it across. Spot shot from the free throw line, off the front of the rim, tipped up in the air, and brought down by the Wildcats. In transition off the dribble is Gooden. Trying to go to the rack with it, lost it as Mackey got a piece of it, tips it out up top, 3 on the way. An air ball hits the bottom of the backboard for Jones and picked up for Archibald for the rebound. Throws it ahead, coming down the lane, and a runner shot for Braylon Vega, puts it over the front of the rim for 2. Vega with his first basket. Eagles up by 2 buckets now, 4-0. Jumping to the near side and the spin back is Nora. Sends it to the far side and across to Cox down the lane. Lost the ball. It's taken away by Archibald for the first Wildcat turnover. Gets it to the timeline to Payne with the crossover. No look pass down the lane. Going up high at the lefty layup. Missing it though is Archibald. Rebound on the right block for Clovis by Marvin Cox. Giving it off to Brian Weiss, the guard. He'll slow it down at the timeline. He'll bring it across with 6:20 left first quarter. Hobbs by 4. Hand off left wing to Nora. Swings it right to Jones. Jones drives right baseline. Pivots out of the pressure. Gives it up top to Gooden to swing it left to Weiss. Drives the free throw line. Goes back door right baseline. Underneath the hoop, losing the ball momentarily is Gooden. Chases it on the near sideline. One hands it in the lane. Right to the Eagles on the turnover to Chisholm. Second giveaway for Clovis. Up ahead to Mackey. 18-footer from the right side and puts it through the net. Michael Mackey with 2 buckets. A quick 6. Make it. No, they call it a tray. 7-0 score. The Eagles blanking Clovis. Timeout on the court for the Wildcats. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. .5:57 left, second quarter. Big start, Ron, as the Eagles lead Clovis 7-0. And quick timeout for the Wildcats. Coach Maddox wants to talk to him. Now, of course, he used to be an assistant coach at the University of the Southwest for about a season. Now he's with Clovis.
Yeah, you know, Hobbs is doing really well, getting some really good shots, selecting very well, and setting their feet and making them go through the hoop.
Going that 2-1-2 trap pressure as Clovis will get it across after their timeout. Good in the right corner, throws it back on the right wing, lost by Weiss, chases on the far side with a jab step now. He wants it clear out, goes strong against Chisholm right base, pushes it to the right wing to Gooden, back to the corner, Weiss right side. We got a block foul underneath the hoop as a Clovis kid came down the lane. Looked like the Eagles got driven to the floor that time, but they called the foul on Hobbs on the block. I don't think it was a shooting foul, it was a pass, but they charged that one at Chisholm, his first team foul. All 3 of the Hobbs coaching staff jumping up on that one. They thought there was a charge on the way there.
Yeah, Chisholm on the floor. It was charged against him, though. I don't know why exactly. I couldn't see it, though. Too many bodies.
Weiss on the left baseline for Clovis. He'll chuck it back deep. Jumping high in the air for Jones on the right wing. Back door going strong with 2 hands off the glass. It's Cox left side for 2. 7-2 first score for the Wildcats. Eagles by 5 after starting off 7-0 in this one. Mackey in the front court, handing it off to Vega right to left. Gives it over to Pena left wing, top of the circle. Dribbles right side of the arc. Crossover to top of the circle, gets a screen from Chisholm. Sliding back right with a one-hand pass to Mackey on the wing right. Gets a double team, spins, comes down the lane, double clutches, foul as he leans into the defense of R.J. Nora, the middleman of the 3 defenders, getting him on the block that side of the left part of the lane. And they're going to call the foul on Cox, his first team foul on the Wildcats, and Mackey will be on the line. And he tends to get there quite a bit, attracting a lot of attention in the paint against any team that he plays. Mackey comes in shooting 75% on the season. As he waits for the first free throw, shot is up, and a good swish on the first one. He's got 6 points to lead both teams now. Again, came in averaging 22+ a game for the Eagles. Had 10 free throw opportunities in the game against Roswell and converted on 5 of those, 5 of 11 total. And also had quite a few against Clovis the first time, 12 of 15 in that game on the road. In and out, no, it stays in the cylinder for Mackey, gets both of them. He's got 7 of the 9 Eagles points, 9-2 your score. 5 minutes left first quarter, Hobbs over Clovis. Pass to Weiss at the timeline, far side as he brings it across, he gets a double team. Back deep to the time stripe to Jones. Slings it down to the right baseline. Cox goes up strong near the rim right and puts it over the top for 2. He's got 4 points, all 4 of the Clovis Wildcats scoring. 4:46 remaining first quarter, Eagles by 5. In the front court, Payne at top of the circle. Hand off to Mackey. Dribbles left circle. to the lane. Hippity hop, lost the ball in the paint on 3 defenders. They called the block foul underneath. Coach Maddox jumps off the bench, thought that Mackey had just lost control of it. Just a loose ball on that one. They're going to call the foul on Cox again. He was the guy that got the double-double up in Clovis's gym. But he's got some foul trouble now. No subbing looking like for Clovis. Inbound left wing to Pena, drives baseline, tries to throw up a shot, lost the ball. It's knocked out of bounds. Couple of defenders get a piece of it. Last one off the hands of Jones. Hobbs basketball on the right base underneath their hoop, leading by 5. Inbounding going to be Vega. Bounces it back door to Pena, reverse layup right side, misses it off the back of the rim. Pulled down underneath by Jones for his first rebound. And sends it to the timeline to Weiss. Stop and go dribble down the paint. Runner shot on the way, hits the front of the rim. No good underneath the rebound is Archibald. Outlet near side to Pena. He'll bring it across to the transition dribble. Hand off to Mackey on the right wing, front court. NBA 3 on the way. Right over the top of the defender. Put it through the hole against Marvin Cox. Mackey with his second tray. And he's got 10 points to lead the Eagles. 12-4. Hobbs' biggest lead now is 8 here in the first quarter. Pass in the front court for the Wildcats. Cox in the left wing, back deep timeline to Jones. Bounce pass back door and kicked in the lane by Mackey. Stretched his leg out there as like a soccer goalie. Able to knock it away, but a violation. It will be Clovis basketball on the baseline. And it looks like Coach Maddox is going to bring in a couple of subs for the Wildcats. Manuel Gutierrez and Josh Wimbish seeing their first action. Left baseline, Weiss will inbound for the Wildcats. Eagles match up man-to-man now. Looks like Jairus Turbiantes is checked in for the Eagles. Ball was kicked on the inbound. Looked like Mackey got a foot on it. Also on the court for Hobbs, checking in Peyton Hodge. He'll try to swat the inbound pass here. Again, Weiss will get a rethrow here on the left base. Jumping up and down is Hodge, trying to get a piece of it. A backdoor pass in the paint, taken away by Hodge. Turnover number 3 for the Wildcats. Doesn't head to Mackey. Cradles it, goes high with it over the right rim on the finger roll and scores. Mackey on fire with 12 points. Another timeout for Coach Maddox and the Wildcats. Eagles with a double-digit lead for the first time in the game by 10 here in the first quarter, 14-4. We'll keep it right here at Task Arena. Do you like the pace and what we're seeing from the Hobbs Eagles with this 14-4 lead, Ron?
Absolutely. I mean, after the fact that they had a dismal outing against Carlsbad, they have come back in the last game and this game and showed no mercy, no losses as far as their speed. They're getting into it. They're doing exactly what they need to do, clicking on all cylinders, as somebody would like to say. But, yeah, I just love this energy they've been doing, and I missed it from the games past, and I love to see it now.
Well, we saw that game Tuesday night against Roswell, 25-16 in the first quarter. Roswell did get 16 points, but we haven't seen a lot of games where Hobbs started off early with that big number, 25.
Exactly. And, you know, other than Cleveland when they held them to 5 points in the first quarter, we haven't seen a whole lot of good starts for the Eagles. Of course, that generally happens for the girls, too, from time to time. But, you know, just like now, it's 15-8. Actually, they came back strong. It was 8-6 so far. But Hobbs Eagles on both sides doing well, getting strong. And if they can come out here and play that, both sides, offense, defense, with their fast breaks, they can do very well. And they're hard to break and hard to stop.
Trap pressure comes back as Clovis gets the ball after their timeout. Throw it to the timeline to Wimbish near side. Cross court right to Kalen Parker, who just checked in. Gets through 2 defenders. Lost the balls. He slipped through them. Picked up for the Eagles by Archibald. 4 turnovers for the Wildcats. Down the lane to Hodge. They're going to say he shuffled his feet for the travel. First turnover for the Eagles. Of course, this Clovis team only lost by 8 to Carlsbad Tuesday night, 48-40. So a pretty tough game there. And a very exciting contest. Can you imagine picking off Carlsbad to get them their first loss? It didn't happen, though. They came back and won it. Down pass to the left baseline. Reverse slap left to right for Cox. It rolls around the rim and stays in right side of the cylinder. So another bucket for Cox. He's got all 6 of the Wildcats' points. 14-6. Eagles by 8. 3:10 left here in the first. Coming across the timeline, Hodge stop and go on the right wing. Looking for some motion here. Hand off to Mackey. Mackey gives it near side to Archibald. Top of the circle off the dribble. Back to Hodge. Hobbs comes right, unloads to Mackey on the right wing. Jab step, backs it out, left hand, crossover, baseline right. No look pass to the left wing to Hodge, fakes a 3. Up top to Vega, wide open for an NBA tray and puts it through the hole. Braylon Vega now has 5 points. Second, to make it third tray of the game for the Eagles. They lead by 11, their biggest lead of 17-6. Driving the baseline at the other end, right side, pivot by Gutierrez. Over to left wing to Parker, drives the lane, jump stop, lost the ball as he fell to the floor, picked up. Fade away, Cox from the right block is off the back of the rim. Rebound for Mackey, his first. Dribbles into the front court. Down to the free throw line. Tries to throw an alley-oop backdoor to Archibald. Wasn't ready for it. Sailed over his head on the right baseline, out of bounds for the Eagles' second turnover. The good look that time, but just not getting the continuity they wanted.
Yeah, just one step off. If that would have been on the mark, of course, he would have been able to get that basket in, even possibly a foul too.
Back on the court for the Eagles, Jordan Chisholm, one of the starters. He almost gets the interception at the timeline. Cox will get the pass, though. Dribbles to the right base, pivoting. Tries to throw up a shot underneath the hoop. Got bodied out of the shot from the right block. Coach Ross up there trying to get the signal for the official. They're going to call a clear out, though, for the Eagles on the hips, as they'll charge that to Chisholm, who just barely got back on the court. His second personal, and has both team fouls for the Eagles. Are they going to call that a shooting foul? Everybody's lining up in the lane, but the official's pointing at the baseline. We got some confusion now. Now they're going to move it out to the baseline there. It was a body foul. So there'll be an inbound for Clovis on the left side of the baseline. It'll be Manuel Gutierrez to throw it in. Hobbs up by 11. Throws a high one in to the right block to Cox. Spins with a hook left. Rolls around the rim and good. A hook from the left side on his arm that time. He's got 8 points and 8 for the Wildcats. 17-8 score. Hobbs by 9. 2 minutes left first quarter. Coming across the time stripe is Pena. Going to slow it down. Yo-yo dribble. Kicks it off to Hodge on the right wing. Up top to Chisholm. Swings it left side to Pena. Going to hold it as he's defended by Gutierrez. Mackey comes back and gets it. Top of the circle. Fires away a fadeaway three. Hits off the back of the rim and the strap holding up the backboard. That'll be out of bounds. And it'll go back to Clovis. No chance for a rebound on that one. Clock will stop with 1:45 left opening quarter. Eagles by 9. Couple of passes coming across his Parker far side, taking on Mackey. Stop and go, double team with Hodge. Returns to the timeline, near side or far side of Gutierrez in front of the scorer's table. Tries to throw it in the lane, and Turbiatis picks it away for the 5th turnover. Up ahead to Pena with the 1-2 layup on the right glass and scores. Right through his defender that time. As Pena now with his first bucket, 3 scores for the Eagles. 19-8, back to an 11-point lead. Coming down the lane is Parker, backdoor bouncer with 2 hands. Laid it up and in is Gooden for his first bucket. First points outside of Cox in this game, 19-10, Eagles by 9. Payton in the front court, over to Hodge on the right wing, clock to 106. Uses up his dribble. Turbiatis to the top of the circle, catches the pass with a jump stop. Back to Hodge, stop and go down the lane. Flicks it over to left wing to Pena. Triple threat, drives paint, pivots, gives to Mackey left wing. 18-footer, throws the shot up and good, and a foul. Got knocked backwards that time. We're going to wait to see if they call this a tray or not. He was on the left side of the perimeter.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to call that a 3, so he's going to get a chance for a 4-point play. And for Clovis, that will be charged to the guard, Kalen Parker, his first, second team foul. And Mackey has now converted 3 trays and has a chance to go 3 for 3 on the line as well with 1 free throw here.
Mackey is once again catching fire at the right time in district. And, of course, you know, he's been really good with his free throws so far in this year. He's 77%.
Now, I have 15 in the books, and they have 14 on the scoreboard. I'm not sure they count that as a 3 or not. We'll have to check on that. He does make the free throw. They keep the now they're saying 15 on the scoreboard. So I guess they're going to only count that as a 2-point shot before. 22-10, Eagles by 12. Their biggest lead with 50 seconds left first quarter. Ball was bobbled on the near side off the inbound, off the hands of Parker, but knocked out for the Eagles by Pena. So it will be Clovis basketball near the time stripe. They trail the Eagles by 12. Inbound of the backcourt. With the dribble is Gutierrez. Throws it across high to the right wing front court to Jones. Jones keeps it up the right sideline to Wimbish. Down low, going up strong with one hand on the right baseline. Champ Gooden to the hoop that time. He's got 4. 22-12, a 10-point Eagle lead. Hodge up top, front court to Pena. Gets it back to Hodge. Off his chest. He has to go chase it back at the timeline, left side. Dribbles top of the circle. Over to right side to Chisholm. Up top to Pena with the jab step. Crossover move at the free throw line. Sends it down to Vega left corner. Clock to 19. Hands behind to Pena left wing. 3 off the front of the rim on the shot. No good. And pulled down for the Wildcats in transition is Wimbish. Gets it off across the timeline to Gutierrez. Throws it right and gets it back from Jones. At the timeline, sliding left off the dribbles Gutierrez. Waits for a screen from Gooden. Gets it to Gooden. He goes up high with a finger roll over the front of the rim and scores. Gooden has 6 points. And that ends the clock as well in the first quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles, though, still with an 8-point lead over Clovis. 22-14 at the end of 1. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles go to the second quarter here at Task Arena, leading Clovis 22-14. Now they have Michael Mackey for 15 points. I'm not sure how that happened. It looks like they've shortened him a couple points here in this first quarter, but 5 for Vega and 2 for Pena. Mackey had a couple of trays in the first quarter and also 1 for Vega. Eagles shot 3 for 3 from the line, all at the hands of Mackey. And Clovis has 6, or make it 8 for Cox and 6 for Good, and no free throws yet. 5 turnovers for the Wildcats, 2 for Hobbs. Clovis basketball to start the second quarter. They'll get around the right side of the circle. Pass comes up top to Gutierrez. Keeps it up top to Parker. Drives the left side of the lane. Swings it back to the right side. Faking a 3. Driving Wimbush to the free throw line. Lost the ball. Chases it back on the right wing. Up top to Jones. An NBA 3 on the way out the back of the rim. Pulled down to the left elbow of the free throw line for Archibek, already his 4th rebound. Outlet up court to Chisholm on the left side of the paint. They're going to say he shuffled and pick up a travel. 3rd turnover for the Eagles. In the first quarter, the Eagles with 5 rebounds and a total of 4 for the Wildcats. 7:32 left, second quarter. Hobbs by 8. Double dribble call as the pass came into the far right side of the backcourt to Kalen Parker. And kind of fumbled forward and picks up the 6th Clovis Wildcat turnover. Double of what the Hobbs Eagles have here in this first half. Pena will inbound on the far left sideline near the scores table. Coming back to get it is Vega at the time stripe. Gives it back to Pena left side. Takes a few dribbles near the timeline. Comes to the near side. Cross over to his left hand. Handoff up top to Vega. Hands it off to the left side to Chisholm. Down to Pena left base. Goes to Rack. Gets his layup pinned to the backboard. And taken off with it now is Parker. 1-on-2, comes down the lane, throws a high runner shot off the glass and through the cylinder. That's the first bucket for Parker. 3 scores now for the Wildcats and a 6-point Eagle lead, though, 22-16. Mackey in the front court, spots up a 3 on the right wing, falls down, but they're not going to call the foul that time. Little play acting, but he gets it to go right through the net. Michael Mackey with 18 points. He's got 3 trays in the ball game. Eagles by 9, 6:45 left second. Clovis basketball coming across the timeline is Gutierrez, right wing. High arching pass down the lane, picked off in the paint by Chisholm. Turnover number 7 for Clovis. Alley-oop to Mackey on the right side. Double clutch and scores over the right rim. Net was hung up that time. Kind of hard to make a decision where to throw the ball for Mackey, but he's got 20 now. 27-16. He's almost got his season average. A runner shot at the other end, and putting it over the front of the iron is Manuel Gutierrez for his first bucket. 27-18, a track meet starts. Pena going to shoot a 3 from the right side, and he nails one. Pena now with 5 points and his first tray of the ball game. Eagles starting to rack them up here at Tasker. They've got 5 trays, 30-18, matching their biggest lead at 12. Clovis at the other end on the right wing. Wimbush to the right corner to Gooden. Puts it up top to Rivera. Make it Jones. Jones back over to the right side to Gooden. Drives the lane with the double clutch right hand coming down the paint, and they call the foul on the Eagles. Ball came out the front cylinder, but that'll give them a couple of free throws here. The first chances for free throws tonight for the Wildcats as they call that one against Chisholm. Already his 3rd, and that's the 3rd team foul. He's had all 3 of the Hobbs Eagle fouls here in the first half.
Just something about Hobbs that frustrates Clovis. They just don't play as well. They played very well against Carlsbad. They played very well against Roswell, but right here, against Hobbs, just struggling.
First free throw good for Good, and he's got 7 points. They had to take out Chisholm with the 3 fouls, and coming in for him, who just was in a few minutes ago too, J. Iris Turbiantes, another big kid for the Eagles. They're trying to get all the subs on the court. One more free throw now for Gooden. He's got 7 points. Clovis now 1 of 1 on the line. So Turbiantes, Pena, Mackey, Archibek, and Vega on the court for the Eagles. Second shot is good for Gooden. He's got 8 now. He's going to take a breather. And coming on for him is Marvin Cox. They're tied for first score. Gooden and Cox both have 8 apiece for the Wildcats. Hobbs by 10, 30-20. 5:50 left first half. Coming across the timeline is Pena with a 3-2 zone to face. Finds Vega left wing, back deep to Pena. There's a high one over Mackey on the right side. Almost lost the ball on the near sideline. Good save for him. Takes a few dribbles and stops at the top of the arc. Slings it over to Vega left wing, fakes a 3. That zone moving out on him. Bounce pass to Pena left side. Ripped away in the backcourt. Taking it to the rack at the other end on the pickpocket is Brian Weiss. Or correction, Caitlin Parker, his first or second bucket for 4 points. And that'll be the Eagles' fourth turnover. And Coach Reed's going to quickly stop the action. Doesn't want Clovis climbing back into this one. 5:26 left here in the second. Your Eagles up by 8 over Clovis. 30-22. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Clovis 30-22. Second meeting between these two teams this season. Of course, the Eagles won on the road in Clovis by 16, 74-58. A game that had Mackey 30, Pena 19, and Braylon Vega with 13. Eagles had 5 trays in that game and out-rebounded Clovis 37-19. 5:26 left here in the second quarter. Eagles with a home game on Tuesday, a remake, as they have to take on Roswell, a game that was iced out about a week or two ago. That'll be Tuesday night here at Tasker, and then the final game of the regular season for District on the road in Carlsbad this next Friday, a week from tonight. So a couple more games left on the District schedule, then the District tournament the following week, and of course the state tournament just around the corner. Eagles win inbound to Payne in the backcourt after an Eagles timeout. He'll dribble across the timeline as he's guarded by Parker. Comes right with the dribble. Waiting for a screen from Turbiatis. Throws over to left wing instead to Archibek. Archibek flicks it back behind to Vega. He'll fire up a three off the back of the rim. Tipped around underneath and pulled down on the baseline on the save by Cox with his second rebound. Gets it out to the near side to Nora. He'll take the dribble himself, middle of the court, now on the front side for the Clovis Wildcats. Sends it over to Weiss near side. He pivots, guarded by Turbiatis. Crossover through his legs, left wing, and unloads to Parker. Parker drives the paint, hippity hop, turns and fires a shot over the front of the rim and scores. He extended high over the rim that time. That was Parker's 6 point. 30-24. Eagles just by 6 now. Payne in the front court. Stop and go, gets a screen from Archibek. Goes it high up top to Turbiatis. Pivoting on the left side now. Looking for help, gives it to Vega, going baseline, goes to the rack, double clutch, rejected from behind, pulled down by Weiss. He'll take the dribble to the far right sideline. Stop and go to the corner, gets a double team, slings it back right wing, wide open for a three is Wimbish, hard off the back of the rim. And rebound on the baseline, nice save there for the Eagles. Good effort by Braylon Vega. And we got a whistle now in the backcourt. Appears there's going to be a hack foul against Clovis against Brian Weiss, his first. Third team foul against Clovis. 4 fouls against the Wildcats, make it 4, and 3 for the Eagles. Hobbs basketball in the backcourt.
You could say that was not a wise move.
Inbound coming in to make that Abraham Pena now as he takes his time with the dribble in the front court. Slides left, gives it off to Hodge. Hodge up top to Turbiatis, swing it right to Pena, pivoting with the basketball now. Kicks it up top to Mackey with the jab step. He's going to back up and throw up an NBA three off the back of the rim, no good. One hand ripped down by Cox, his third rebound for the Wildcats. Outlet far right sideline to Weiss, he'll bring it across with 3:45. To the free throw line, jump stop and shot. Hits the front of the rim, kind of just threw it up there, and Pena pulls it down with his first rebound. Goes to Mackey on the left wing, down low to Turbiatis, double clutch off the right glass and scores. Turbiatis now with the bucket. 4 scorers now for the Eagles who lead by 8, 32-24. Weaving through traffic, Parker coming down the lane, reverse right side, they got a body. He gets knocked to the floor on the baseline, landing on his butt that time, and hip was thrown in by the Eagles. See who they call the foul on this time. That's going to be charged to, I believe, Peyton Hodge. Yep, that will be Hodge's first, 14th foul. And free throws now for Caitlin Parker. Clovis is 2 for 2 on the line for Champ Gooden. And Eagles are 3 for 3 for Michael Mackey. So 1 free throw shooter for each team so far. Now we're going to make it 2 for Parker. First shot's up and good. He's got 7. All 7 of his points here in the second quarter. 32-25, Eagles by 7 as Clovis trying to whittle away at the lead here. Weiss will take a seat, as will Josh Wimbish for the Wildcats. They'll bring in R.J. Nora, and returning is J.J. Jones. Second free throw up and good for Parker. Got both of them. 8 points for him. Three players with 8, Parker, Gooden, and Cox. For your Eagles, 20 for Mackey, 5 apiece for Vega and Pena. Eagle basketball up top. All ball in the hands of Archibek. He's going to wait for some rotation now. He'll spot up a 3. Nobody defending him. Ball bounces around the rim. No good. Loose on the baseline. And they'll say it's off the hands of Mackey for Clovis basketball. Yeah, he kept the ball there for a few minutes almost there. And Archibek decides, hey, I'm going to take a shot from the right.
Sure. I mean, if you're wide open, nobody's even going to defend you. Might as well try for it.
3:05 remaining. There was a defender in the area, but he was backed way up. Pass to the near sideline, backcourt to Nora, gets a double team, throws it hard across to Jones. Jones to the right wing to Parker, down the lane, jump stop, shot, and throws over the iron for 2. The little guard is getting himself in the paint, making a presence. He's got 10 now, leading the Clovis Wildcats, a 4-point Clovis lead. 32-28, 2:45 remaining in the second. Hodge head off to Mackey left wing, spins against a double team, backs out to the timeline. Finds Pena on the right side. He'll hold it outside the circle, up top to Archibek. One hands it over to Hodge on the right side. He'll drive through 2 defenders. Tries to throw up a shot. Ripped from behind. They call the foul. Holding onto the basketball over the top of his head was Gooden. Just ripped it out of his hands that time. The official's going to say he bodied him up. They're going to call the foul on Champ Gooden, his first 15th foul against the Wildcats. And that'll put on the line Peyton Hodge. Finally, somebody else will get a chance to shoot free throws for the Eagles. Hodge comes into the game shooting 33% on the season. The Eagles as a team were 62%, and a swish for Peyton Hodge. That'll make the 5th score for the Eagles and extends the lead to 5, 33-28. One more shot for Hodge is up, and it is hard off the back of the rim. On the right block for the rebound is Gooden, his second. Gives it off behind to Parker. Throws it across to Jones to the right wing. Back to Gooden. Goes down the lane. Touch pass in the paint, and Marvin Cox lays it over the front of the rim. He's got 10 now. 33-30. Eagles quickly in the front court with a 3-point lead. Mackey down the right side of the lane. Leans sideways. Throws up a shot. They call the foul. 2 defenders crash on him that time. R.J. Nora and J.J. Jones. Trying to get their hands straight up, but Mackey likes to kind of move his body into the between them there, and then they kind of crashed into him, sandwich him. That's where they got the foul, and that's against R.J. Nora, his first 16th foul on the Wildcats. And Mackey perfect, Ron, 3 for 3 from the stripe.
Yeah, he is, and that's exactly what he wants to be during this district game. Perfect on the line and great from 3-point range. 2
free throws here would put him at least in his average this season. That's just in one half of play, and he makes his first.
Exactly.
21 points for Michael Mackey.
Got a halftime score from Clovis, where Hobbs is leading by 7, 25-18.
Of course, that's late Eagles hoops. They're on the road. Second shot for Mackey. He's got 22. 2:12 left in the game in second quarter action. 35-30 here in the first half. Eagles by 5. Stop and go Joe for Parker, taking on Hodge in the front court, far sideline. Drives the lane right, kicks to the right corner to Perez. Or spin move on the right side, good, and throws up a hook shot at the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound on the far side for Pena, his second. Up ahead to Mackey, who tries to dunk and gets his bicep ripped off from behind, coming down the middle of the lane by Parker. Dunk went off the rim, but Mackey's going to get another trip to the free throw stripe as Parker picks up his second personal, 17th foul. Eagles will have the bonus the rest of the 152 of this first half.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're caught behind. You're trying to catch up. All you can do instead of, if anything, you just have to try to stop him. You rip the muscle, of course. You try to make sure that he doesn't get the shot. Of course, the free throws are automatic.
Yep, he's 6 of 6 now. That shot made there on the first one. 23 from Michael Mackey as he continues to add on to his big-time production. One more opportunity here for Mackey, the senior, one of 3 that got honored tonight here on court. Jordan Chisholm and Chris Archibek, the other 2.
Got a quick update for you from Artesia. Levington is back in the lead again, 30-24 at half over the Artesia Bulldogs.
That's boys action, correct?
Yes.
Second free throw good for Mackey, 24 points for him. Eagles by 7 in the front court. Right wing for Clovis, Parker. Cross court left to Gooden. Gooden's going to hand it back to Parker on the left side. Gives it back on the left elbow to Cox. Down the left corner. Cox will shoot a 3 off the side of the iron. Rebound for Turbiatis on the right block. His first. Wide open to Mackey with a tomahawk jam over the front of the rim. Michael Mackey gets the crowd electrified here at Tasker for his 26th point. 1:20 remaining here in the second. Eagles by 9. In the front court comes Parker, guarded by Hodge at the time stripe. Stop and go. Crossover. The ball's rolling on the ground. Able to flick it back to the time stripe to Jaden Levenshone. Levenshone lost the ball, and Mackey gets a tie-up with the guy who picks it up good on the near side. They're going to call the foul, though, on the Eagles for a push. Looked like just battling for the basketball, but Mackey will pick up the foul, his first. 15 foul against the Eagles.
It's all about perception and what the referee saw. And what he saw was a push. Everyone else didn't see that, but he saw it, and that's the only one that counts.
On the near sideline, front court, inbounding to be Jaden Levinshone. His Wildcats losing by 9. Down low and getting through a defender and laying it up left side with 2 hands is good, and he's got 10. 39-32 with 1 minute left in the half. Coming across is Mackey with 7-point lead. Stop and go dribble, left wing, lost the ball, fumbled it off his knee out of bounds. I think getting a piece of it first was Jaden Levinshone for the Clovis D, and then Mackey lost it off his own knee there. That will be a turnover for the Eagles, their 5th. 7-point Eagle lead with 56 seconds left in the first half. Ball on the far side to Gutierrez. Gives it back over to Levinshone now in the front court, to the left corner to Gooden. Gooden will dribble it up top, underhands it to Jones, drives to the right elbow, down to the right corner with a pass to Gutierrez. 3 off the left rim, no good. Rebound in the left block by Gooden, his 3rd. Lost the ball as he tries to pivot, and it's chased down to the far right sideline, out of bounds. Trying to be saved by Gutierrez, but goes out. That will be the 8th turnover for the Wildcats. Hobbs has the ball with 35 left in the second.
One of the things that has been an advantage for Clovis is the offensive rebounds. They've been getting some second chance shots and staying in the game.
Mackey will bring it across, finds Payton on the left wing, returns to Mackey. Thought about an NBA 3. Down low to Turbiantes, left block. Back up top to Mackey. NBA tray. Off the back in front of the rim, no good. Loose on the baseline. Turbiantes tries to save it. And they're going to say it's going to be Hobbs basketball. Turbiantes got a piece of it. Must have been touched last by J.J. Jones. And Mackey that time did a little bit of a flop there from the NBA range, top of the circle. He was falling down before the ball was even released. Bounce pass on the inbound back door, and there's the man going up high as Payton on the right side of the boards. Lays it off the glass for 2. He's got 7. Eagles back up by 9. 41-32 with 8 seconds left in the half. Quick dribble in the front court. Gutierrez far side. Runner shot from the right base out the back of the rim. Pulled down in the left corner by Levinshone. Clock down to 1. Gives it back behind him on the left. 3 on the way for good and short of the rim. Your Hobbs Eagles lead at the end of one half of play, 41-32 here at halftime over the Clovis Wildcats. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle Hoops on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Task Arena. Hobbs Eagles lead the Clovis Wildcats here in the district's second battle between the two. 41-32, a home game for the Eagles. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, Max with you at the station, and we'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle basketball throughout the season.
Thanks to Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline.
Let's look at the numbers in the first half. First for the Clovis Wildcats. They've got 3 players in double figures, all at the same points. Kalen Parker getting all 10 of his in the second quarter. He went 2 for 2 from the line. Champ Gooden also with 10. He had 6 in the first, 4 in the second, was 2 for 2 on the line with 3 rebounds. And Marvin Cox, the third, with 10 points, 8 of those in the first quarter, and finished with 3 rebounds. So 4 scores for Clovis. They went 4 of 4 from the charity stripe, had 8 turnovers, and were out-rebounded by the Eagles 9-8. On the Hobbs Eagles side of the coin, Michael Mackey doing the job offensively, 26 points so far. He is perfect on the charity stripe, 7 of 7, and has 1 rebound, and has converted on 3 3-pointers so far in the ball game. Also scoring for the Eagles, Abraham Pena with 7 points, a tray, and 2 rebounds. Braylon Vega, the freshman, has a tray and 5 points and a board. Jairus Turbiatis has a bucket for 2 points and a rebound. And Peyton Hodge went 1 of 2 from the line with 1 point. Eagles with 4, make it 5 scores in the first half and 4 scores for Clovis. Again, Eagles out-rebounded Clovis 9-8, thanks to the 4 leading rebounds for Chris Archibek. Hobbs again with 3 less turnovers in the first half with 5 compared to 8. Again, Eagles so far in the first half, some great free throw shooting too, Ron. 8 of 9 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, and we've been talking about them on the charity stripe before. They've been having some struggles. They've had some great games. They've had some bad games, and I'm liking the fact that everything is hitting so far. 3 free throws, their 3-point shots. I haven't seen a whole lot of in the paint, but, I'm sure they're working on that one as well. And once they get that started, then they're going to be really expanding this lead against Clovis. Clovis, of course, scratching and biting their way and continuing to stay in this one under 10, under a double-digit figure. But, I think the second half is going to be a little bit more Hobbs-oriented as far as they're going to be pressing a little bit more. They're going to try to get Clovis out of rhythm. And Clovis has been in rhythm so far. That's one of the reasons why they're only 9 down. And I think once they do that, then they can definitely hold this Wildcat team off and get the victory in the end.
How about the 26 from Michael Mackey? I mean, he came into the game scoring in the low 20s on an average. Of course, he's had a couple of 30s in the last couple of ball games in district.
Yep,
and looks like he's well on the way to this, but do you expect to see some more double, triple teams against him by Clovis second half?
I don't know. So far it doesn't seem to be working. If he's scoring, 24, 26 points, it's not working as well as he should. They may try it for a moment, but in the end, they're just going to see if they can spread the defense around and just stop the team in general instead of just Mackey. Mackey so far has been scoring at will, and as long as they keep doing this as far as Clovis, I don't see any difference or any change that Mackey's going to slow down anytime soon.
And, of course, Hobbs got some outside shooters in Vega and Pena. Those two guys like to shoot the trays and so far have 1 apiece in the first half. We'll take another 60-second break as we'll come back at halftime. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Clovis 41-32 live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Getting close to the start of the second half here at Tasker Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Clovis 41-32. Eagles currently second in the district with a 2-1 record, 12-10 overall. And Clovis at the bottom at 0-3. They are 10-12. So it's a pretty big game for Clovis to try to get their first win of the district schedule. They have a few games left as well. The Eagles will be against Roswell on Tuesday night here at Tasker Arena. Got me choked up there just a second. And then on Friday, they'll be at Carlsbad to finish up the district schedule. So pretty tough game to finish up on. Of course, Carlsbad is a kind of a mover and shaker in the Max Preps poll right now. They're sitting at number 9, actually one spot out of hosting a first-round game in the playoffs. So they've got to get a couple more wins under their belt to be safe. Right now, Volcano Vista, Sandia, Trisco Heritage at the first through third spots right now. Volcano Vista is going to be probably a lock at 1 unless they lose some games late, but they're 22-1 on the season. Los Lunas, the Eagles got defeated a couple times by is 4th. Cleveland 5th. Hobbs losing to them before as well. West Mesa Eagles lost on the road at the APS Metro Tournament too. They're the 6th team. Oregon Mountain Eagles have lost twice to the 7 team. So there's several teams that have beat the Eagles head-to-head, which will keep them above in the seedings for the state tournament. But Hobbs has got a lot of room to move with some La Cueva, El Dorado, and Santa Fe above them, 10, 11, and 12. Of course, Santa Fe has lost to the Eagles, so that would probably move Hobbs ahead of them. So a couple games left for all the teams in the state, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to transpire. But we're back to live action now at Tasker as your Eagles lead by 9 in their basketball. Mackey in the front court gets a pass from Pena left wing. Dribbles up top against a 2-1-2 zone. Back to Payne at the timeline, yelling for somebody to come get the ball. Mackey gets it on the right elbow. Shot from the fadeaway spot there. Missed it off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the left block by Weiss. That'll be his first rebound of the game. He'll dribble up in the front court on the near side. Tries to pass up top. Pena gets a hand on it, but it comes off his fingertips. Sails to the far left sideline to the scores table. And not able to bring it back into play. So Clovis will get it back, dodging a bullet on the first possession of this second half. 7:30 remaining in the third as Weiss gets the inbound on the right wing. Gives it off to Jones. Jones dumps it to the right block as he backs in and spins on the right base. Cox with a fadeaway for the right block. Falls off the rim, no good. Rebound by Weiss underneath the hoop. Reverse layup right side. A high one off the front of the iron. And chased down by Mackey on the far right sideline. Underhands it up court on the left side of the lane. Laying it with a finger roll. Chris Archibek for his first basket. Mackey getting his second rebound on the play. It's 43-32. Eagles back up by double digits at 11. Clovis quickly in the front court. Left wing is Weiss. Swings it to the right side to Jones. Back to Weiss on the left wing. NBA 3 out the back of the rim. Pulled down on the left block for the Eagles by Chisholm, his first rebound. Bad pass in the paint, stolen and laid up on the left side by Jones for his first bucket. And the Eagles' 6th turnover. Payne will bring it across, leading by 9, 43-34 here in the third quarter. Hand it off to Vega left side in front of the Taskervich band. Mackey will come back to help out. Faking the handoff is Vega. Dribbles away from him to the right. Sweeps it back to the left and hand to Mackey. Mackey gives it over to Pena on the right wing. Guarded by Jones. Alley-oop backdoor to Mackey. High off the glass with a double clutch. Puts it off for 2. Mackey could have almost had a dunk on that when he was so high. 28 now for Michael Mackey. Eagles back up by 11. Jones will get a pass high one to the left wing. It gets bodied out by Pena from behind. They'll call the foul on Pena. That will be his first personal and the first team foul here in the second half.
Yeah, you thought for a moment that Mackey got too high, which is unusual, but yeah, it looked like he was going to get too high, but he didn't make it and put it in the basket.
And it looked like a design play by the Eagles coaching staff who all jumped up at the same time. They get it down low right block to Cox. Tried to throw his body through 2 defenders that time. Chisholm and also Archibek on the left block. They're going to call the hold foul as he tried to put his head down between them. So you see which one they're going to get on that one. Oh, boy, that's going to go against Chisholm, his 4th personal, 2nd team foul. Big decision for the coaching staff for the Eagles. Weiss to inbound on the baseline, throws it to the right wing. Jones is bobbling it, picked up on the right side by Nora. Throws a hard one down the lane. A fadeaway hook shot put up by Gooden off the back of the rim. Rebound for Mackey in transition on the far right. Comes down the middle of the paint, reverse layup left side, and scores it off the glass. Mackey with 2 quick buckets. He's got 30, and the Eagles now by 13. That's their biggest lead of the ball game.
See him score 44 like he did at Del Norte.
Jones with the ball in the front court, down the right corner to Gooden. Underneath, get through 2 defenders, getting the high passes. Cox going up strong and scoring. Slipped through 2 on that one. He's got 12. Back to an 11-point Eagle lead. Mackey in the front court against a 2-1-2. Finds Pena left wing, drives baseline, shot from the left block. They call the body foul. Good block in the ball, but then a hip thrown at Pena falls on his back, backward that time. He'll get a chance for 2 free throws as the foul called on the Wildcats as they charge that one to Cox, his 3rd personal. They're calling it 2 on the scoreboard there. That'll be the first team foul against the Wildcats here in the second half. Pena has yet to shoot a free throw in this ball game. He'll get 2 here.
He's at that age where he can just rub off any kind of injury. He hit his head a little bit. He's just rubbing it off, and it seems to be okay.
67% from the field on the season, but makes his first free throw there. Pena now with 8 points. Again, 30 for Mackey, 8 for Pena, 5 for Vega, the 3 leaders for the Eagles. And for Clovis, 12 for Cox, 10 apiece for Gooden and Parker, who have yet to score in this 3rd quarter. Eagles were now 9 of 10 from the free throw line for 90%, best of the season so far. Second shot for Pena, off the front of the rim, as I said that. Underneath, just waiting for it, was Cox for his 4th rebound. Cox throws it left, gets it back from Weiss, bounces it across the timeline at Gooden on the right wing. 1-on-3, goes to the rack, high off the glass of the layup and scores. And that will be Gooden's 12th point of the ball game. 48-38, still a 10-point Eagle lead. Mackey over the right wing to Pena, fires up a tray. Nothing but net for Abraham Pena. His 2nd tray of the ball game. Eagles getting 11 out of him. 51-38, a 13-point lead. Mackey with a steal on the far right sideline. He goes to the rack, gets bodied up, and Weiss throws it at him and gets the foul. Ball comes off the back of the cylinder. That was the 9th Clovis turnover and a steal by Mackey. Just waiting kind of in the passing lane in front of the scores table. Picked it off from the timeline as they get the foul on Weiss, his second team foul on the Wildcats. And here goes Mackey once again to the charity stripe. In the first half, he was perfect, 7 of 7. And has 30 points. So 2 here.
He's doing well.
First shot up for Mackey is good, a swish. So Michael Mackey, easily the top scorer of this ball game for either team, with a 14-point lead now for the Eagles, their biggest, and hopefully making it 15 with the second shot.
Got an update from Artesia. The Levington boys up only by 3 on Artesia, 40-37 with the 3rd quarter ending.
Second shot for Mackey's a switch. 15-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Eagles, thanks to Mackey. 32 for him, 53-38. Trap in the front corner on the near side, trying to get through it with his head is Gooden. Bounce pass right block to Gutierrez, goes back door and laying it high off the left side is Gooden to put it through. He's got 14. Or correction, that was Cox with the bucket. He's got 14 instead. And a timeout on the court for the Wildcats. 4:38 remaining 3rd quarter. Eagles up by 13 over the Wildcats, 53-40. We'll come back in 30 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Task Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunner Max with you as the Eagles lead Clovis 53-40. And boy, Ron, you're tracking a game up there in Roswell right now. A pretty critical one in the district.
Yeah, near the end of the 4th quarter, and Roswell just down by 2. 43-41 is what Carlsbad has for the boys in that game. Very close indeed.
Did you say 3rd or 4th?
4th quarter.
Okay, 43-41, a 2-point Carlsbad lead. They had a couple of close ones lately, of course, only beating this Clovis team by 8 on Tuesday night. Pena breaks the pressure coming down the middle of the paint, throws it left to Hobbs, who just checked in. A fadeaway from the left block, an air ball, and a rebound on the left block for Clovis by Gooden, his 4th. Throws it up ahead to Weiss, stop and go, left corner, front court, double team. Throws it down the lane to Jones, touch pass in the paint, reverse layup on the right side, and high off the glass for 2 was Cox on that one. He's got 6 in the 3rd, 16 overall, and an 11-point Eagle lead still. Payne in the front court, spots an 18-footer from the left side over the rim, no good. Weiss with the rebound on the left block, his 3rd. He'll slow up the dribble now. And a sub coming in during the timeout, Caden Hall seeing his first action. They unload to the right wing for Clovis, and Gutierrez tries to post up low to Cox. Ball knocked out of his hands and then lost it out of bounds on the baseline. Nice D for Mackey to guard him up down low. That will be a turnover off Cox's hands for the 10th of the ball game for the Wildcats. 53-42, your Eagles by 11 with 3:54 left, 3rd quarter. Eagles working on a 3rd win in district. Imata Turbiatas on the near side, cross court right to Hodge. He'll bring it across the timeline. He took a few steps before passing it back to Turbiatis and got a little bit ahead of himself that time as he picks up the 7th Eagle turnover. Coach Reeves comes out on the court telling his players to think about what they're doing out there as he comes back off. Clovis basketball in their backcourt, uncontested until they come to the timeline. In the hands now of Parker, picked up by Hodge, got a piece of it, picked up by Gutierrez off the deflection, taken away by Mackey. He goes to the rack, gets knocked to the floor, and a foul from behind. Coaching staff for the Eagles won a 2-shot and clear the lane foul. And they're not going to get that part. They will get the 2 shots out of him. Mackey got slaughtered from behind, and they're going to say it should be a breakaway foul, but they're not going to call that. They'll call the foul against the Wildcats regardless. They charge that one to Parker, his third team foul. Pretty hard foul, though, across the head of Mackey, and he did show the refs that's what happened to him.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know where the body's going to be or where your hands are going to hit when you try to get up there and block that shot.
Mackey's perfect. That was a little wobbly. You could tell he was kind of trying to shake off the stars that he got as he was hitting the head on that previous layup attempt. He's perfect now, 10 of 10 from the charity stripe. He's got 7 here in the third quarter and 33 overall. Second shot for Mackey. This one's a swish. Still not missing a free throw. 55-42, back up to a 13-point lead. Gutierrez gets the pass to the timeline, throws it across to Parker. Down the lane. To the right block to Cox, tries to fire it back to the left to Gutierrez and sails it out of bounds. Gutierrez wasn't in the area that he was supposed to be, and a bullet pass goes right to the fans on the far right sideline. That will be a turnover for the Wildcats, their 11th. Sub coming in is taking his seat, will be the man throwing the ball that time, Cox, and stepping in for him is J.J. Jones. Mackey will get the inbound as he comes across the timeline. Looks like a 1-2-2 zone now. Coming to get it is Vega left wing. Gonna hold it, flick it down to Mackey left wing as well to the baseline off the dribble. 2 and a shot on the way. Links off the side of the rim left, put up by Turbiatis, can't get it to drop. His second rebound, and finally pulled out for the Wildcats on the right block off the miss by Jones, his second. Goes to Gutierrez left far sideline, back across the timeline to Parker. Dump it in the free throw line to Gutierrez, swing it down back door, and going to the rack with nobody defending him that time to the right side, laying it up uncontested was Gooden. He's got 14. Eagles by 11. Half-court pass to Mackey. Gets bodied into the ball loose, able to spin away from the defender. Double team for him as he comes to the right side of the paint. And luckily knocked out by Clovis on that one. It was Gutierrez. Looked like he got bumped pretty hard the first time by Gooden. No call there, but then another defender coming from behind as well. Eagle basketball, though, on the left baseline. Coming back on the court will be Chris Archibek. Or actually, that was Vega that inbounds it, but right to the Clovis Wildcats off the steal as it was taken away in the paint by Wimbish. The Eagles' 8th turnover. Into the front court, top of the arc to Gutierrez. Swing it right, off the hands of Parker. Kicked it off his foot. Picked up by Gutierrez, though, on the right wing, and returns it deep to the timeline to Wimbish. State keeps it on the timeline to Parker. Top of the circle against Mackey. Double team now with Vega. Over to left wing to Jones. Fakes a 3. Hippity hop coming down the lane. Lost the ball. Stripped away by, looks like Hall. Picked up by the Eagles' Hodge. That was the 12th turnover. Sends it to the right corner to Mackey for a 3 off the front of the rim. Long rebound for Clovis. In transition, getting tripped from behind was Champ Gooden after his 5th rebound. They're going to call the foul on the Eagles for the trip.
Yep, Caden Hall is going to enjoy that one.
That'll be the 3rd team foul on Hobbs, as Hall will pick up his first. 55-44, Eagles by 11 with 2:13 remaining in the third. Clovis basketball in the backcourt, near sideline near the student section. Inbounding Gutierrez back deep to Wimbish. Or correction, that is Weiss. Weiss going one-on-one against Hodge as he comes across the timeline. Finds Gooden on the right wing, drives the paint. Kick out Gutierrez left corner, back to Weiss. He'll spot up a 3 from the left wing off the side of the rim. Rebound Gutierrez left block, high arching shot and scores off the glass. Gutierrez with 4 points and a rebound now, and Hobbs up by 9. Here comes Mackey across the timeline after a pass. Weaving through traffic down the lane. Double clutch on the right side of the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound, gets stripped. Picked up by Hall in the paint, finds Hodge on the right elbow. Back to Mackey on the left elbow. He's going to blow up with an NBA or make it a fadeaway off the back of the rim. Jones at the rebound underneath, his 3rd for the Wildcats. Up ahead to a breaking Gooden with a scoop shot on the right side and scores. He's got 16, 6 coming here in the 3rd. It's 55-48, Hobbs by 7 now. Payne in the front court, will slow it up. Still against that 1-2-2. Dribbles right, hand off to Hodge, and Coach Reeves wants a timeout. 1:20 left, 3rd quarter, as Clovis trying to crawl their way back into this one at Task Arena. It's Hobbs 55, the Wildcats 48. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. 1:20 left here, third quarter. Kind of a long third quarter, dragging along here at Task Arena, but the Eagles still leading over Clovis, 55-48. 7-point lead for the Eagles. They led at halftime, 41-32. Eagles have scored 14 here in the third quarter, and a total of 16 for Clovis. 1:19 left in the third. Inbound to Hodge, top of the circle, against his zone. Zigzagging through traffic, throws a runner shot off the back of the rim, put back up in the right block with two hands by Archibald off the glass and scores. He's got 4 points and 5 rebounds now, and now a 9-point Eagle lead with 1:05 left in the third. Catching the ball in the front court is Gooden. Right to left, top of the arc, sends it with a one-hander over to the right side to Nora. To the same side to Gutierrez, sling it up top to Weiss, fakes a three, comes right, gives it back to Gutierrez on the right base. Wraparound pass underneath, lost the ball, falls on the floor on his stomach and able to tip it out to Gooden in the left corner. Tries a cross-court pass to the right, picked off in the air by Mackey. Turnover number 13, he comes down the lane, reverse left with two hands. Ball rolls around the rim and good. He's fouled and a chance for a three-point play. Michael Mackey with 36 points now after that bucket, a chance for the three here. And boy, he just kind of threw his head, his arms at the basket, and it rolled around and stayed in for him, and he was almost under the hoop that time.
Yeah, and he's definitely working that left rim and getting that layup going in. He's made more than he's missed, definitely, and he's definitely working that shot tonight.
That's the fourth team foul. Looking to see if they call that. It looks like Weiss picked it up. Misses it off the front of the rim, though, does Mackey, and a big rebound coming down for Clovis. That was picked up by Nora. To Weiss in the front court, down low, double clutch on the shot, and they're going to call the fouls. Wimbish went up strong with it. Mackey was trying to go toe-to-toe. I don't think they got him on the foul. Looked like some help side defense stepped over for the Eagles, unfortunately.
Yeah, should be Turbiatis.
Yep, they'll give that one to Jairus Turbiatis, his first 14th foul against the Eagles. Both teams with 4 team fouls, and that'll put on the line Josh Wimbish, yet to shoot a free throw. Clovis is just 4 for 4, all coming in the first half on the line, and they put one through there. He'll get one more. That's the first point of the game for Wimbish. 7 scores so far for Clovis and 6 for the Eagles, but Hobbs with a 10-point lead as Mackey will take a breather. And coming in for him will be Braylon Vega. Pena's on the court. Also staying on for the Eagles, Chris Archibald, Turbiatis, and Hodge. Second free throw bouncing around and good. For Wimbish, he got both of them. And subs coming in now, looks like for Clovis, checking in R.J. Nora. Eagle basketball inbound to Hodge on the near side. Flings it to half court to Pena, left wing. Going to the Eagles. Archibald goes back door, and there's big Jairus Turbiatis going up strong on the right side. That's his 4th point of the ball game. 61-50, Eagles by 11. In the front court, left wing is Nora. Back deep to Weiss at the timeline. Clock down to 12. Guarded closely by Hodge now. He backs into the corner, does Weiss to the timeline. Stop and go on the right side, up the sideline. Underhands it to the right corner. Fumbling it a minute as Wimbish fires a 3 fadeaway right. It's off the rim, and the Eagles get the rebound to run out the clock. That's the 6th board for Chris Archibald. At the end of 3, your Eagles with a double-digit lead over Clovis, 61-50 here at Tasker Arena. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with the finale live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles lead by 11 over Clovis as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Second matchup between Hobbs and the Wildcats. 61-50 your score. Looking at the point production in the first 3 quarters of action. Champ Gooden and Marvin Cox both leading with 16 for Clovis. They have another double digit at Kalen Parker's 10. For your Hobbs Eagles with 36, Michael Mackey, 11 for Abraham Pena. Eagles had 20 points in the third and 18 for the Wildcats. Driving the lane, missing the shot, coming down the pike off the back of the rim was R.J. Nora, the Eagles get the rebound as a pass down the lane to Mackey. He gets rambling into the defense. They might have called a charge on him there. Coach Reed's on a happy camper on that one. Yep, they called the charge on Mackey. That'll be his second personal, 15th foul. That will be the ninth turnover as well for the Eagles.
Well, unlike the last game when he fouled out, he's doing really well and in under on the penalties.
61-50, Eagles by 11 still. Bunch of passing left and right coming to Weiss across the timeline for Clovis to beat the press. Up top to Gutierrez. Dribbles a couple of times to the free throw line, right elbow. Bounce pass down to the right block with a pivot now from Cox. Bounce pass to Weiss on the right wing. Up top to Wimbish, thought about a three. Kicks it left instead to Cox. Cox dribbles up top. Finds Weiss open, right wing, fadeaway three, nothing but net. Weiss with his first bucket of the ball game, though. 61-53, Hobbs still up by 8. Pena in the front court, sliding over the right side off the dribble. Backs it out to the timeline. Gutierrez will step out on him, unloads to the right wing to Vega. Vega going to get guarded by Wimbish. He'll hold it for a few seconds. A screen coming to help out for Archibek. Up top to Chisholm. Swing it left side to Pena. One hands it up top. Faking a three's Archibek. He did try one in the first half. Uses up his dribble, though. Mackey comes back to get it on the right wing. Back up top to reset to Chisholm. Get a little bit out of offensive possession here. They don't know where the ball's coming to, and it looked like a couple of times it could have been stripped. Over to Pena on the right wing. Drives hard to the baseline. Double clutch. Gets hammered from behind as they get the foul. Late reaction there for Clovis's defense by Marvin Cox to pick up his third personal. And a great quick step there for the freshman Vega, taking baseline to the hole that time. Or correction, Pena. That will be the fifth foul on both teams here in the second half.
Yeah, so far both teams playing pretty clean as far as fouls. Not getting a whole lot of them from either side. Like to see that. And although I also like to see Hobbs Eagles on the line.
First free throw up and good for Pena. 12 points for him. He's 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Eagles have only missed 2 free throws in this ball game so far. Pena 2 for 3, as we mentioned. And Mackey was going perfect, 9 for 9 for a while. Missed 1 free throw back in the third quarter. So he definitely is having a great night all over the place with 36. Second shot for Pena is good. He's got 13 now. Second leading scorer for the Eagles. And back to a 10-point lead. 6:40 remaining. Hobbs up 63-53. Gutierrez catches a pass far left sideline, comes across the time, weaving through traffic, sends it left corner, a three on the way, out the back of the rim, no good for Cox. Pulled down to the near side, and in transition comes Vega after his second rebound. Up top to Mackey, fakes a three, drives the paint, windmill layup to the right side of the glass and scores, and a foul. Knocked to the floor on his butt that time, but he got the bucket to go, and a chance for the three-point play as they'll charge that one to Cox. That's his fourth personal and the 16th foul. He's one away from DQ as Mackey's trying to add on to his 38 points with the free throw.
Showing his diversity. Normally he goes to the left of the basket when he shoots that shot. This time around he went to the right, and of course it caught the defense off guard and ended up getting that foul.
With the free throw made, he's 12 of 13 from the charity stripe and 39 points on the scoreboard for Michael Mackey to extend the lead to 13, 66-53. 6:20 left in the ball game as Weiss will have the basketball in the backcourt. Throws a high one across to Jones on the left wing, back deep to Gutierrez. Kick it right to Weiss, fakes a three, up on his tippy toes, unloads the right wing to Gooden, to Gutierrez at the free throw line, goes back door to the left block. A hook shot in the paint off the back of the rim, no good, and it's going to go save on the baseline. They're going to say it was touched last by the Eagles. The shot was taken by Nora. Looked like the Wildcats are the ones that saved and stepped on the baseline. They're going to give it back to him, though, as Weiss will inbound from the left base. To the right corner to Gooden. Up top to Gutierrez, spins, finds Weiss left corner, fires up a three off the side of the rim. Ball tipped to the free throw line, picked up for the Eagles by Chisholm. Goes back door to Pena with the layup, and looks like they're going to call goaltend on that one. Is coming from behind and tipping it out as Pena let it loose off the glass. Attempt to block that one by Nora is going to be counted for Pena. He's got 15 now for the Eagles, second leading scorer. Again, 39 for Michael Mackey. So those two guys have combined for 54 points out of the 68. Gutierrez on the near side, throws it across, caught by Gooden on the right wing, drives baseline right, off the glass, runs over his defender, no call. They let the basket go, though. Gooden has 18. Here comes Mackey into the front court. Double team, lost it as he gets stripped from behind by Nora for the Eagles' 10th turnover. Nora sent it across to Weiss on the left wing, goes down the lane to Jones to the reverse layup left and scores. So Jones gets his fourth point of the ball game, and it's now 68-57. Eagles still by 11. Coming across, slowing it up now is Pena with 5:15 remaining in the game. Comes left with the dribble. Keeps it going alive to the left wing. Fakes the handoff to Mackey. One hands it over to Vega. Dangerous throw, almost picked out by Gutierrez. Top of the circle now. Bounce pass back door to Pena on the give and go, and Pena lays it high at the left glass for 2. Pena now with 6 points here in the fourth and 17 overall. 70-57, Eagles by 13. In the front court, Gutierrez to the left corner. Crossover move, baseline, going high up in the air with it, getting blocked as Nora, taken away from the Eagles by Chisholm. Chisholm gets knocked to the floor as he dribbles across the timeline, ball loose. Mackey picks it up on the left wing, goes to the rack left side, double clutch off the glass and puts it through. Michael Mackey now with 41 points. 72-57, the Eagles have tied their biggest lead at 15. 4:28 left in the ball game. Gutierrez will come across and gets a double team. Slices it down the lane to Nora, to the right corner to Jones. 3 on the way, in and out, no good. Ball pulled down by Gooden. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands from behind after his 6th rebound, but it will still be Clovis basketball. Chopping on the top of the ball was Jordan Chisholm. And Clovis will have it in the left baseline. Coming on the court is Hodge and Turbiantes for the Eagles on the subs. As taking a seat will be a couple of the Hobbs Eagles. Archibek for one. They get the inbound play. And we got a foul on the baseline here. Not sure they're going to say it was a shot, though. I think they said it was before the shot went up against the Eagles. So we'll see who this will be against. That'll be Hobbs' 6th team foul. Both teams with 6 now. They're going to call that on Hodge, who just checked in. That's his 2nd. They get into the right block, kicked out to Gutierrez in the right corner, dribbles a few times, returns it under that right block to Gooden, and he puts it off the glass with a spin move. He's got 20. 72-59, Eagles in the front court. Mackey down to Turbiantes, left block, spot shot, Jay, and there he goes with 2 more for Turbiantes. He's got 6 off the jumper. 74-59, Hobbs plus 15. In the front court, Parker, he'll slow it down. One hands it off to the left wing. Dribbling through his legs and then throwing it up top is Levenshove. Cross court right to Gutierrez, drives baseline, fadeaway jumper from 10 feet and puts it through. Gutierrez has 6. We're going back and forth now with 3:40 remaining, and Eagles with a 13-point lead. Payne in the front court on the right wing. Go back it out to the timeline, gives it to Mackey, and Coach Reeves wants a timeout. 3:33 remaining in the fourth. Hobbs 74, Clovis 61, up by 13. Coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles lead by 13 here at Task Arena late in the fourth, 74-61, up by 13, trying to keep that 2nd spot solid in the district. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles victorious tonight, Ron.
Indeed they are. Looks like the final score was 70-42. They struggled in the first half, but definitely got the second half under control and win it with some very decisive points.
28 winning margin there for Coach Carpenter and the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Of course, they got picked off by Carlsbad in a close one last week, but still going to battle for that district crown you can expect next Friday night here at Tasker. That's going to be a major battle for some fans that aren't traveling to Carlsbad to see the boys game. Should be an exciting one, a packed house here at Tasker Arena. Of course, the Hobbs Eagle boys will be on the road Tuesday, here at Tasker Tuesday against Roswell, 7 o'clock tip. And then on Friday, they will travel to Carlsbad for a 7 o'clock tip. So lots of critical games left in the district schedule. And it's going to be Hobbs basketball here late in the fourth, 3:33 remaining. Eagles by 13. Inbound to Payne at the timeline. Gets bumped into, going to dribble right now. Bounce it back door to Mackey. Ball was deflected. He goes up high with it. Double clutch in the middle of the paint. And gets a foul call. Got knocked backward a little bit. Ball didn't come near the rim that time, but he'll get 2 free throws. He's able to track it down after the deflection by the Clovis defense first. That'll be the 17th foul on Clovis, so the Eagles will be in the bonus the rest of this ball game. Mackey will shoot 2. Takes about 3 or 4 bounces now. First shot is up, and it's a swish for Michael Mackey.
Mackey could easily outscore his 44 points he did in Albuquerque when he faced Del Norte, and I do believe that would be his largest scoring effort of this season.
Got 42 right now. One more free throw here with a 14-point Eagle lead. Second shot's up and good. Hobbs now matching their biggest lead of 15, 43 for Michael Mackey. 17 for Abraham Payne, the leaders right now, 76-61. Driving to the baseline, left base is Levenshone. Keeps it on the left side with the pass back to Nora. Up top to Parker, drives the right side of the paint, lost the ball. Gutierrez comes up with it on the right base. He'll back it out to the three-point arc. To Jones in the left elbow, comes down the lane, kicks it left corner. 3 on the way for Levenshone off the side of the rim. Mackey with the rebound at the free throw line is 5th. Drives the lane, 1-on-4. Cradle shot from the right side, misses out the rim, goes back up with 2 hands on the fadeaway underneath the hoop and scores. Mackey with his 6th rebound and 45 points to lead the Eagles with 2:45 remaining in the game, up by 17, their biggest lead. Driving on the left wing is Parker. Falls in the lane, slides across the floor. Ball was loose. Now we got a jump ball as Hodge and Parker going toe-to-toe. You're going to see a kind of a slip and slide there. On his chest was Parker, and the ball was ahead of him, so they didn't call the travel. He had lost control of it, but then good job for Hodge to step up and get the jump. And it'll be Hobbs basketball. That will count as a turnover 2 for the Wildcats. They're 14th in this ball game. 78-61. Mackey weaving through traffic, left side reverse slam, and scores another one. 47 points for Michael Mackey. I believe that's his season best scoring opportunity here at Tasker Arena in front of the home fans. Gutierrez will get a pass across the timeline on the left wing. Crossover move. Hodge gets a strip. That'll be turnover number 15. Hodge will give it across the timeline to Archibald. To Mackey on the right wing for 3. Nothing but net. Michael Mackey, unbelievable night here at Tasker Arena. Actually, it is believable. He can do it. 50 points off the tray. At the other end, a tray is going to be put through for the Clovis Wildcats as they get one to drop, and that is Jones. He's got 7, and a timeout on the court. Michael Mackey with 50 points. The Eagles up by 19 with 2:03 remaining. Bunch of guys running on the court as the timeout was called for, giving them some big chest bumps there at the half-court line. Boy, the century mark, we got to check the numbers. I'm sure right now they're talking about at the scores table whether that meets the top scoring numbers for the Hobbs Eagles in history.
No, I doubt it does, but it is pretty close as far as getting a lot of numbers. We didn't expect him to get 50 today. Of course, you never would do that, but he has had 3 out of 4 of his last games have been 30 points. This time around 50. Definitely going to go ahead and bump his average up a bit. Still not enough to be near the top 10. However, you know, there's a few other games. If he could continue to do this kind of scoring, you know, you never know. He could be in the top 5, top 10 of the average for his season if he keeps it up. But still, kudos to him. You know, we knew he'd catch on fire, and he certainly has so far. He's got 50 of the 83 points. That is amazing. Of course, we are also wanting to see some other Eagles step up. But for right now, you know what? It's just nothing but the Mackey show. We're going to let him have his moment and enjoy it while he can, because you don't always get a chance to score 50 in a game.
Of course, we saw that kid up there, Del Norte, that had scored 60 prior to the Eagles playing him. The next night, the Eagles took care of business and beat that Del Norte team. So
exactly,
hey, there's some good players, and Mackey is definitely one of the top in the state of New Mexico. And we're trying to check on the scoring to see where he fits on the all-time scoring for a game for the Hobbs Eagle program over the years. Mackey will throw it back deep to Hodge after the timeout. He'll dribble through traffic, goes back door to a wide-open Eagle, missing the layup, getting blocked as Chisholm. Ball gets knocked out of bounds off Clovis, so Hobbs will get it underneath their hoop, leading 83-64, a 19-point lead, which is the biggest of the game here in the fourth quarter. 1:55 remaining. Pena will inbound left base, throws it to Mackey at the free throw line, gets ripped by Weiss. An arm bar across his mouth that time, and Weiss will pick up his 3rd personal, 18th foul. Is a bonus for the Eagles. Mackey didn't get a chance to shoot that one near the free throw line, but he'll get 2 uncontested shots now from that stripe.
Yep, 1 and 1.
And now we got they're announcing something about his scoring from the scores table. So we're going to wait to see what that's all about here in just a second. With 1:53 left, as Mackey will go on the line with 50 points so far.
You know what? I was wrong. It is the best scoring effort for a Hobbs Eagle.
First free throw is up and good. 51 points. Record-breaking 50 points for Michael Mackey. Now make it 51 as he puts it through on the free throw. He'll get one more.
It beat Larry Robinson, who did it back in 1970 against Carlsbad.
Second shot for Mackey. In and out, no good. Rebound underneath on the right block by Jones. That's his 4th rebound. 84-64. Eagles' biggest lead is 20. Across the timeline, Jones gets it back. Right behind him on the right side is Cox. Gives it to Weiss, right wing. Up top, driving the lane is Gooden. Kick it right wing. 3 on the way for Egbert off the back of the rim. No good. Put back up on the right block. The ball Toilet bowls around and good for Gooden. He's got 22 and 7 rebounds. 84-66, an 18-point lead. Fumble at the timeline for Hodge. Gets it in the front court, though, and hands it back to Pena. Back to Mackey at the time stripe, who's got 51 points on the scoreboard. 1:15 remaining. Just holds it as Weiss will come out in. Crossover move. Down the lane, hippity hop. Windmill lamp left side, no good. Tip back up and in with 2 hands on the right glass is Chisholm. 2 points and 4 rebounds for Jordan Chisholm, a senior. 86-66. Eagles by 20. Weiss will try to throw a pass down the lane from the right wing, and he got a bear hug from behind. Not quite sure if Archibald thought he was going to shoot a tray or not, but that was a crazy foul that time. Haven't seen anybody wrap him up unless it's a stopping the clock with time running out. So Archibald gets his first personal, 17th foul. Mackey will leave the game, 51 points. Standing O from the Hobbs Eagle faithful. Also leaving the game, Jordan Chisholm and Chris Archibald. Those are the 3 seniors there, Ron, and that's another reason there's a standing O.
Exactly. They want to do their best while they're still on the court, and of course, why wouldn't they? This is the Hobbs Eagles. It's tradition. They do win at home at Ralph Tasker, and they're definitely holding up on this game.
First free throw is good for Weiss. He'll get one more. That was the 17th foul on the Eagles. Yeah, so Hodge on the court. They also bring in their big kid, the JV player, Parker Henderson, get his first action. Caden Hall's out there. Also Vega. Weiss's second free throw good. He's got 5 points. And Caden Hall's on the court for the Eagles. 86-68. 1 minute left in the game as Hodge will bring it across. Slows it up, gives it back to Pena, who remains on the court too. He's at the timeline. Waits for the defender to come out. That's Egbert, far side right. Crossover moves now to staying way outside of the perimeter. Putting his head down and it's going left to right now, top of the circle. Throws it back door to Henderson, goes up big with 2 hands off the left glass and scores. Parker Henderson has his first bucket, barely off the bench. 20-point Eagle lead. In the front court, Weiss gets stripped by Hodge. That'll be the 16th turnover for the Wildcats. Hodge on a 2-on-2 down the lane. Gives over to Pena on the right wing and resets up top to Vega. Fakes a 3 and back to Pena at the timeline with 20 seconds remaining.
I think they're going to run out the clock.
Eagles up by 20, their biggest lead of the game, down to 15. Pena with a stop and go, backs it out again. Start the bus chant from the Hobbs Eagles student section, showing their keys. Spin move with 6 seconds, zigzagging to the left wing. Backs it out to the timeline. He's just going to let the ball bounce high in the air with 1, and that's the ball game. Your Hobbs Eagles winning 88-68 over Clovis. They won by 16 the first time on the road and 20 at home here at Task Arena. And yes, 51 points for Michael Mackey, breaking a school record for scoring in a game. We will take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on this record night at Task Arena. Big win for the Hobbs Eagles here in district tonight at Tasker Arena, 88-68, a 20-point win, a record night as well for Michael Mackey. 51 points, most points in a game for a Hobbs Eagle. So I'm sure a lot of news media throughout the state of New Mexico will definitely want to put that as a highlight for this big game tonight. Of course, he wasn't the only double digit. It was Abraham Pena. He finished with 17 points and overshadowing perfect free throw shooting for Clovis in this game. They were 8 of 8, but still the Hobbs Eagles with a 20-point victory. So definitely an exciting game for Michael Mackey and the rest of the team. Eagles shooting 82% from the free throw line tonight as well, Ron. So you can definitely tell they've got something to prove with just about a week and a half left of this season.
Well, you know, I guess you could say that Carlsbad woke them up, definitely, because they have been on fire. Roswell, they had a close one, but still, Hobbs played very well. And again, it started looking like they were having little problems with their rebounds as far as Hobbs. But in the second half, they got back into it. They were able to slow down the Clovis Wildcat offense and be able to get back into the game. Plus, you know, they were always like nipping and tucking between 11 and 9 points of a difference. Then Hobbs just poured it on. Of course, Mackey really did pouring it on with 51 points. Again, that is a Hobbs Eagle record. It was broken from the 1970 game that Larry Robinson did against Carlsbad. That was 49 points is what he had scored. I had thought by now that somebody had scored 50 points for the Hobbs Eagles. Nevertheless, it had happened, and it happened tonight. We all got to hear and watch it ourselves.
So again, 88-68 the final. Eagles improve in the district now to 3-1 behind Carlsbad. And, of course, Clovis drops to 0-4, but a very close game going on in Roswell tonight, too, and Carlsbad, I think, pulled that one out, didn't they?
No, they did not. It was, for the last 3 or 4 minutes, it was a close game, 3 points, but Carlsbad ends up winning it 46-43.
That's what I said. Carlsbad pulled it out.
Yeah. Carlsbad came in and won a close one. Again, second time in a row they've had a close game against a district opponent, and so we're expecting to see, you know, the next game with Carlsbad, which will be next week, is going to be, hopefully it'll be a close game. If Hobbs can play the game they did the last 2 games, they can definitely outrun Carlsbad. Carlsbad is a very slow-going, paced type of team. If they face against this Hobbs fast break team that did so well in the last 2 games, it will definitely be a Hobbs advantage, and they will definitely have the advantage to go 5-1. Of course, we're still having to face Roswell next week as well, so we can't count that chicken until it's been hatched anyway. But, you know, for this Hobbs team, they've been playing very well, and we're hoping to continue that as far as getting them back into the district and getting them on for the start of the playoffs.
Standings, Carlsbad 4-0 after their win tonight over Roswell. Hobbs now 3-1, Roswell at 1-3, and Clovis at 0-4. Again, Tuesday night, Eagles will be here at Tasker Arena for the Roswell matchup. That was a rescheduled game from the ice storm we had a few weeks back, and then, of course, they'll finish up Friday on the road at Carlsbad. Let's look at the numbers in this game, though. For the Wildcats first, they have 3 in double digits. Champ Gooden, 22 for the game, and they kind of run nip and tuck between Parker, Gooden, and Cox. They were all at 10 at one point, but then Gooden started pulling away in the second half as he had 6 in the third, 6 in the fourth, had 7 rebounds to lead the Wildcats as well, so he was getting close to a double-double. Again, 22.7 boards. And that was it for him. He did have 2 for 2 free throw shooting. We did mention this team was 8 of 8 from the line in this ball game. Marvin Cox, he had a double-double last time in Clovis a few weeks back, but tonight 16 points, 4 rebounds. Most of his point production in the first quarter, where he had half of his scoring with 8. Also getting double digits, Kalen Parker, he only had 10, but all those coming in the second quarter. He didn't score in the second half, so Eagles shutting him down. He was a quick guard, though, that got around the court quite a bit and finished 2 for 2 on the line. Again, 3 in double digits, Gooden 22, Cox 16, and Parker 10. Other scores, J.J. Jones, 7 points, had a tray and 4 rebounds for the Wildcats. Weiss finished up with 5 points on 1 tray in the game. Manuel Gutierrez ended up with 6 points, all coming on buckets, and 1 rebound in the contest. Josh Wimbish went 2 for 2 on the line for 2 points. So Clovis finished up with a total of 7 scores in the books. They were perfect, as we said on the line, 8 of 8 from the free throw stripe. They had 22 rebounds, the same number that the Hobbs Eagles had in this game, but they had more turnovers for the Wildcats, 16 compared to 10 for the Eagles. On the Hobbs side of the coin, of course, we mentioned Michael Mackey several times, 51 points, unbelievable, 15 of 17 from the charity stripe. He also had a couple of three-pointers in this game. In fact, 3 of those all coming in the first half of action, and had 6 rebounds as well. So tying for first in terms of rebounding on top of that scoring number. Again, he's number 1 for points in a game here for Hobbs history. Abraham Pena finished with 17 points. He went 3 of 4 from the line and had a couple of trays, 2 rebounds as well for the sophomore. Nobody else in double digits, but Jairus Turbiantes did a good job coming off the bench tonight with 6 points and 2 rebounds. Chris Archibek, one of the seniors that were welcomed to the court earlier in the game to start it off, he had 4 points and 6 rebounds, tying for first with Mackey on the glass. Jordan Chisholm, another senior, had a bucket and 4 rebounds for the Eagles. Braylon Vega, the freshman, had 5 points, including a tray, and Peyton Hodge went 1 of 2 from the line and had 1 point. The Eagles saw a total of 8 scores in the game. We forgot to mention Parker Henderson, the JV player, but got action in the fourth quarter of this game with his bucket of the contest. So lots of guys stepping up, 8 scores, as we mentioned, in the game. Eagles with 22 rebounds. Mackey and Archibek both with 6 apiece and had, again, 6 turnovers less than this Clovis team with 10 versus 16. Hobbs getting big numbers in the fourth quarter. They dumped in 27 and just 18 for Clovis to wrap up this ball game. So a couple of good quarters of scoring for the Eagles. Ron, they had 22 in the first, 29, or make it 19 in the second, 20 in the third, and that 27 in the fourth. So 3 out of the 4 quarters are scoring 20-plus, and that's what you like to see. That's where you saw some potent offenses in the past of the Hobbs Eagles in the transition game, really getting a lot of guys in the scoring book. But you'll take any way you can get the points, and 51, nothing to sneeze at for Michael Mackey.
In fact, actually, that was the lowest score for Hobbs here at Tasker against the Clovis Wildcats. Last time they did that was 2014-2015 season. That was probably 2015 when they did it. 88-37 was the score. So, once again, tying a record for Hobbs with low score. But you know what? Again, Mackey lighting it up and making sure that we talked about that at the beginning. He said, we might see Mackey carry them to this victory, and he definitely did at that.
Well, the next game coming up on Tuesday night, the Hobbs Eagles taking on Roswell right back here at Tasker Arena. That will be Valentine's Day night as well. The Eagles just getting that game, the win on Tuesday night, defeating Roswell 75-64, an 11-point win in that one. A couple guys stepping up big. Michael Mackey, 30 points, 8 rebounds. Also 12 of 15 on the line for 80% free throw shooting. Braylon Vega, the freshman, stepped up for 20 points in that game. He had 5 3-pointers in the contest, so those two combined for 50. And Abraham Pena also with 8 in the game as well. Had 6 rebounds and a ton of free throw opportunities in that one. He was 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. Hobbs shot 70% on the line in that game. Had 8 3-pointers compared to 4 for Roswell. And 7 less turnovers, 16 versus 23 for the Coyotes. And out-rebounded Roswell barely 32-30 in that ball game. Roswell had some guys step up for them. Manny Fuentes with 22, 9 for 9 on the line. And Ivan Miramontes with 19. He was 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. Roswell shot 73% from the line and also had 23 turnovers. So Hobbs doing a good job of getting the ball away from the Coyotes. And again, Roswell is going to be kind of pushing hard. They want to continue to remain at least in the 3rd spot in the district, so they would have a home game for the district tournament. But they still got 2 left in the books for them, too.
Yeah, they've just lost 2 in a row at home. They had not lost before then. And losing, of course, for anybody who is always competitive is never a good feeling. Clovis losing 4 in a row, or 5 in a row now, and being knocked out pretty much at district. Roswell still having a chance to, make a name of themselves, come back in here, especially if they come in here and they defeat Hobbs. But again, expect to see them playing very scrappy, very tough. And Hobbs, of course, is going to probably match it the same way like we saw just the other day, where it's going to be back and forth, fast, and we're going to see just who can outlast the other one in this basically horse race.
And, of course, some people were asking why they had senior night tonight. Of course, this was not going to be next Tuesday was not going to be a home game. It was going to be bye game for that, or bye night for that game. But then Friday they would have their last game. So because of the ice storm, that Tuesday game was not originally scheduled. So that's why senior night took place tonight.
Exactly. They had already set up all the festivities and whatnot they needed to do for the senior night. And you know what? Even though we only had, 3 or 4, it was still a great night for all the seniors. They came out here, played strong. They still got a few games to go. So it's not the end of it yet for them.
Michael Mackey, we mentioned, one of the seniors on this squad, and Jordan Chisholm, Chris Archibek, and, of course, the departure of Van Landingham, who was injured, and definitely put his body on the line game in, game out for the Eagles. Final score again here tonight at Tasker, 88-68. Eagles are now 13-10 overall, 3-1 in district. Before we leave, we like to get our sponsors in here, of course, keeping us on the air, both radio and internet throughout the season.
I'd like to thank Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Force Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. Thank you very much.
Allison Friend, Jessica Friend on the scoreboard tonight. Max back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend. Have a great rest of our weekend, and congratulations, Michael Mackey, 51 points, a record for Hobbs High School. See ya on Tuesday here at Tasker against Roswell.